Welcome to Darren's 67 to 72. I'm Darren. This is a 68. Working on a C10 today. Need to tidy up a few things here in the back. I've got weld-on disc brake kit ordered, and it should be here soon. So I thought we'd tidy up some of this stuff I've been avoiding. You guys probably don't really know what I got going on, but I'll explain it to you. Get some brakes all welded on. That's going to be a great video. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I believe nowadays when you order everything, it comes without directions. Pretty much everything. Something about they don't want to be liable for nothing. You know how the world is. Sue everybody for everything. All right, we're not getting down that road. Today, I want to tidy up some wiring back here. Fuel pump, fuel sending unit, a little bit of wiring I ran up at the front before you guys got here because you don't want to watch that. So I'm not surprised, but I want to talk real quick. The fuel pump, I seem to have lost the nuts and bolts for it. Well, wait a minute. I found them. Took me an hour. Just because I don't have this stuff, never mind. I have a spot for it now. And then I was missing one of these little tiny metric, you can't see it, metric nuts. I couldn't find it. Thought I lost it. So I just went up to the counter there on the top shelf and grabbed another brand new fuel pump. And I thought, I'll take the nuts out of that one and kick that can down the road and we'll worry about that later. Never a good idea. Well, I got in there and the nut was missing in that one too. I'm like, what? This whole day has been like this. Matter of fact, the whole week. So the point I'm trying to make is some days you're better off just stop. Try again tomorrow. But I don't have enough sense to do that. I just keep right on going. So being that I kept on going, that little nut, I rattled the bag around and looked, shook everything out, but that little nut was jammed way up inside this rubber boot. So I did find it. Then I was done being mad at the company for not sending it. So there's what I've been doing. And now we're to the point where, well, I've got to ground the fuel pump and I have to ground the sending unit. And I thought I'd bring you guys along. You've probably seen this a million times, but I got the good conductor with the shrink wrap built right into it. I don't need glasses. I could see, but not great. I'm going to crimp a new end on it. Now, you could clock it, but the copper wire will bend pretty easy. Let's see, which one do I want to use for this? I never know which one of these clamping things to use. I bought one that has so many different options. Then I give it an extra smash more than it needs. But there it is. Shrink wrap it. It looks like that shrink tubing's a little big, but it says it'll do a 10 gauge, 12 gauge. And I think this is 12 gauge. It says 10 right on it, so that should shrink right around it tight, and I just don't believe it's going to happen. Look at there. I'm glad I was pleasantly wrong. Shrink right up around that wire really nice. Did not expect it to do that. I don't mean to be Mr. Negative. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know how well you can see down where I'm working, but I'll tip you in there. We'll move around a little bit because that's what I like to do. Of course, I got a muffler right on the floor. All right. Can you see? Well, kind of. We're looking right in this area. Right down in here. You probably still can't see very good, but I'll get this complicated little itsy bitsy tiny one on there. And these are funny. They know about, I'm going to talk to you about this in a minute. If I'm going to do some wiring with you guys, at least I'm going to show you something that I've learned that makes my life a lot easier. We're probably not going to do it on this one because it has an anti-twist, which I'm not going to get into because it's so rare. I've actually never seen a company. Is that the wrong size? Seriously? Well, I guess I won't tighten that in front of you guys. Something for later. All right. I've never seen a company do that, anti-wire twist. But that's not our issue. I can do that on my head when you're not here. What I'm doing back here, now I did, again, I don't know how in right zoomed in, you can see. But in this spot right here, I've taken the paint off. Can you see that? I guess you can. I took the paint off with a little scuff brush. And I do that just to make sure we get good contact. The screw going through would probably do it. I'm using a self-tapper, stainless steel. And this is the part I want to show you because it is really, where's that part? Are you kidding me? All right, well, I'll just talk while I go get my tools. I thought I had everything ready so you guys wouldn't sit around staring at nothing. But what happens when you tighten down a nut and a bolt, if you have that wire underneath it, and I say wire, the wire end, the loop, what'll happen when you tighten it down is it'll tend to want to twist that wire in circles because it grabs on that crimped end. And it just, the friction when it gets tight wants to take this and spin it into a circle and it'll kink your wire and you're always fighting it. Well, somewhere along the way I learned if you put a washer on there underneath the head, then when the pressure of that head gets through and it starts pushing on your wire, that washer will work as the clamp and the head of the bolt will spin against that washer, not wanting to twist the wire as bad. Now, I'm not saying it won't a little, but it really increases your odds of success. All right, we'll see if I can drill this through. Shouldn't be bad. I'm going to be that close to the edge. Let me go in just a touch. On my clean metal. Oh, is that loud? I'm sorry. There's a little more noise. I try not to use a lot of power tools. Oh, I flung my washer, but I found it. I got a hold of it. All right, got my washer back on there. Take that wire, fish it up in there. Again, I don't know how these little parts, but you put this on here. Now, when you start to tighten it down, that washer is going to create a little bit of slipping and not wanting to twist this wire around that nut, bolt, whatever you want to call it. Okay, a little more impact wrench because I'm not going to twist my wrist a million times. So turn your TV down, check the earbuds if you have that problem. I never seem to, but some people do. Kind of get your wire where you think you want it. And then run her down. Here we go. Nice and tight. Didn't spin my wire around. I will come back and touch up that paint where I scrubbed off around that. I'm going to zip tie this up after I tighten that down. I might zip tie all that together just so when the ice and snow gets on it, it won't just pull it. It probably won't be out in the ice and snow. But he'll run this pretty much any other time. Okay, over here we have ground wire. It already has a loop end on it. And I've already cleaned off a spot for it. So we're going to put that there. Now this has like little twisted parts. It's supposed to bite into the metal. I don't know. We're going to put it down anyway, just because. And guess what? We got to run that impact wrench again. Well, I'll warn you before I start it. I'm going to do work. I got to use tools. All right, here we go. Ratchet it out again. This is a little thicker. Might take a second. Oh, about twisted my wire right up, didn't it? Only because those little barbs caught on that thread. So let's drill it through first. A little more racket. Here we go. And now. That's a little heavier metal. I'm going to have to stand up. All right, a little more noise. All right, we're through. We're not done with the noise though. There we go, a little more. Get that out of there. Sometimes they bite a little on the way out too. I never understood that drill bit. Flung my washer again. Maybe it's a good idea to drill it without the washer on it. I don't know. Every day's a learning experience. Oh, are you serious? I could put a magnet down in there and get that? No, I can't. Because it's stainless. I bragged that stuff up, but that's one disadvantage. If you want to pick it up with a magnet, you can't do that. All right, we're back to it. See how I make everything look hard? Hooking a ground wire up and I make it look hard. No, it's upside down. I'm pretty good with that. If it'll go in there without spinning that wire. Let's go easy to start with. Right at the end, it bit it hard. But you know what? I'm going to leave it because it's tight. We're going to need one more little bit. All right. I'm scared. That's enough. Get this looped up. I'm not going to bother you guys with drilling holes, but I'm going to drill a hole for a P-clamp probably up in here and another one back here for that wire. Yeah, I feel better having it. They'll be underneath. They'll be hidden, but I'll drill those out and put the P-clamps on with a couple of quarter 20s. Bolt down. Not going to be an issue. So we got our sending unit wire. We got our ground. In the back, we got a power. We got a ground. The only other thing I wanted to say about them, the evil energy pumps that everybody says are garbage. Well, they probably are. But the rubber boots go on extremely difficult. And once they're on, they stay on good. And they're like got a little tiny hole in the back, so they're watertight. I'm not mad at them. Let's just put it that way. I want to tidy up these wires, get these P-clamps put on. I'm going to get these screwed all on. I'm going to finish pulling the wire. I got you guys all kinds of twisted, don't I? I'm going to finish pulling the sending unit wire. I've got it about halfway through the cab area. I'm going to go ahead and finish pulling it through up to where I know the hot wire for the fuel pump goes. And that's probably as far as I'm going to take that. And I see I got other wiring issues, but we're not getting into wiring today. We'll have a full wiring video later. Yeah, I said it later. And we'll deal with heat management and where to fish wires around, where not to. We can cover the frame railing if you want to see where that wire loom went. That's not all that critical. You can just tie it up to other things that you have underneath there. Zip ties are a thing. GM uses them now. They're convenient. They're handy. They work well. Easy to cut off. Easy to replace. So I'm going to work on tidying up the back of this a little more today. And then our next week video, if the parts come in, and they should, I'm expecting them, I'll clean this area up a little more than I did. I mean, I got some things out of the way. I always set that camera wrong. Gracious me today. I'm also going to see if I can get a matching shock for the rear. This has no shocks in it yet. If I can't get one to match that, I'll just get a pair. It's not the end of the world. They're fairly cheap. I'll use them on the next build if Tom wants to replace them on this one. He did want to go with Bilsteins, I think. But again, we worry about the finishing items later. Let's get her running. Let's get her driving. We'll finish those things up down the road. But I'm going to tidy up this stuff here so I can weld those on next week. I'm sure they'll be in a week. That'll be a fun video. Putting rear disc brakes on a C10. 68 at that. It's been converted to 5-bolt, so it won't be everybody's 68 unless they convert it. But I don't believe... I'll check and see if you can do 6-bolt with them, that kit or not. I don't think so. I think it's 4.5, 5.5, 5 3/4. Maybe it's 5 1/4, 5.5. We'll know next week. I don't want to say next week because you know how that goes with me, but I'm going to try. Just tidy up some more wires, drill some holes, zip tie that stuff on there. Needed a different wrench. So that's the gist of this week's video. If you want to hang around, we're going to tighten this up, tidy it up a little bit. I know which socket to get. The one between the two I already got. You know, you get the big one for something else, and the little one you think, and it's the one between them. That's par for the course. Nothing to get mad about. Let's see. It must be a 7. Don't use the 7 a whole lot. That and the 5.5. Well, the 5.5 you use a lot more than the 5. I don't believe I've ever used the 5. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I came around this way. Just because I can't believe that's going to fit. It does. All right, let me go. Got to grab some what? Cutoffs, a couple zip ties, and we can tidy that right up. This zip ties in this drawer. Yeah, I'm here. I'm talking to you. You can still hear me. Zip ties, we'll get a good cutoff tool. Tighten that up. That way I know what'll happen. We're going to get that box in here. Next thing you know, it'll be coated and covered and ready to go together. And my mind won't be, where'd you go? Oh, you're back there. My mind, my mind won't be on the fuel pump when those days come. Maybe you can see better here. Yeah, I know. Good enough, Darren. Quit monkeying with it. All right. On my knees. Yeah, whatever. So, I don't know how tight a torque is on a 7mm. I guess if I was a real mechanic, I'd have looked that up. You guys know I'm not a real mechanic, right? You probably figured that out by now. I'm gonna say a 5 is like, give her a little. That was probably too much. That was my suggestion. Now my head's in the way because I got to see real quick. That rubber boot, I might not fight with that the whole time because it'll use up the rest of the video. They have some kind of anti-clocking piece of plastic on there, and it's big enough that the boot, it like really has to stretch to go around it. But once it's on there, it bites on the backside. It's a clever design. Keep the boot on there good and tight. Yeah, I'm not good and tight. Yeah, I said it, good and tight. It's the German way, right? All right, I'll monkey with that when you guys are here. So we just want to, don't need these. I over zip tie. I just believe if everything's kind of together, it tends not to come apart. That makes sense? Everything's tied together, it tends not to flop around and get mud on it where it's going to pull everything apart. It doesn't seem to rub and chaff on things as much. I like that. And I have to cut tails off. It just bothers me if I don't. All right, that's all together. What is next? P-clamps and drill. I'm going to drill 1/4 20 holes. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to leave that alone back there. It's going to be fine. I got the drill handy. Yeah, not right here in front of us, but it's handy. I guess, like I tell everybody, a little progress is better than no progress. Just keep working your way forward. That's all you can do. If you have a rough day and things aren't going right, either quit or, push on. But when I say push on, be gentle with yourself. If you're having a bad day, just go easy. Accomplish a couple of easier things. I usually just change projects because I got 93 things going on around here. I'm not sure that's better, by the way. Don't think I'm bragging or anything because I got too many things to do. It's my own fault. I just keep taking on next project. I can't help myself. I think I'm going to live forever. That's probably not going to happen, is it? All right, let's get you over here. I don't think I got to move you much. Just right there. So I want two, but I only brought one. Go figure. Most importantly, I think over here, so the weight ain't hanging on this part. But I know I'm going to do two anyway. We'll go with the back and then the forward. No, I don't know. Does it matter? Probably not. What's going to matter is when I go through and rip the wire out. There, we don't want to do that. Well, I grabbed a sharp drill bit. That don't happen every day. Now I'm leaning in there kind of hard. What'll happen sometimes you'll punch through and break a drill bit. Ask me how I know. Sorry. Ask me how I know. You hear that little crack, pop, pop? It's generally when the metal gets harder or some uneven hardness in the metal. Sometimes it's a really bad drill bit, but this one's pretty sharp. A buddy of mine showed me a ball bearing in a brand new piece of metal once. Pretty neat. It just didn't mount good. Well, that really is making a lot of noise. We're almost there. Hang in there. One more time. I don't like the sound of that. See how punch through, knock something on the floor. I'm not going to tell you what it is. There we go. Bolt down. P clamp. Oh, it takes so much time. Can't think about that. Gotta just enjoy it. I put that on upside down. Just gotta try to enjoy yourself. I mean, you're out in a shop. How could you not enjoy yourself, right? I don't think I want to do it that way either. Do you guys do the same thing as I'm doing? Can you even see what I'm doing? I'll move you. I can't help it. I'm afraid you can't see. Why would you come here if you can't see? All right. You probably can see a little better. I don't know which way to put this P-clamp. I've moved it like 9 times. I want it to be finished underneath like that. Let's do that. Ooh, just fits. I'm looking down through that hole and just touches the back. So, oh, I don't want to go from the bottom. Go from the top. And when you buy your P-clamps, they make them tiny. I generally buy the ones that have at least a 1/4 hole in them. Otherwise, yeah, they're just a pain. Seems like you're all the time trying to find a bolt that'll go in there. And that wire seems tight. Why is that wire tight? Shouldn't be. That needs tweaked down a little bit. I mean, it ain't tight. Got floppy room. I'd rather it be snug in there. Come on, I can't see. Can you see? Well, let's try that. Now, there was no need for a washer on the top of this. That metal's plenty thick for this P-clamp. So the head's not going to pull through. There was no sense in putting a washer on there. Well, how long is it? There she goes. One more time, head in the way. All right, let's try and tighten it in. I can't get that happens too. You can't get a wrench on it half the time. Oh, there we go. All right, that one's good. That one's good. Don't really need another one, to be honest with you. I just overdo it all the time. It's not necessary. That wire's going nowhere. And how do you make sure? Yep, a zip tie. Let's put one around the whole kit and caboodle. There's an old phrase. I don't really know what a caboodle is. I know what a kitten is. If you could tell me what a caboodle is, I'd really like to know. The old kit and caboodle. I guess I could look it up. Everybody's got Google, right? I just thought of it, all right? I'm not sure I could find it on Google. Google don't play nice with me. Do you ever feel like Google don't play nice with you either? Yep, technology. It's wonderful. Go to the grocery store and you try to pay. I remember the days when you paid in cash. That took, 30 seconds. Now you go to the store, you either pay in 3 seconds with your credit card or it takes 3 minutes. Yep, because it's better. Yep, most of the time, no. Hey, we're getting tidied up. That's what I was after. Tidy up. Well, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for coming along. Thanks, visit. Next week, hopefully, we can do them breaks. If not, I'm sure I'll have something. And if you get bored, are you looking at my belly? And if you get bored, you can always go to Farm Loving Fool. I do something every day, silly most of the time, but there's something broke. We're summertime now, farming now. You got life. So I'm always doing something over there if you want to check it out. Farm Loving Fool. If not, I'll see you next week. Thanks for coming. Take care. Wow. Somebody's got to get a new camera. Nope, not going to happen.